Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, Williger Schultz, Debt Slay, Search, Peasants, Vassals, Minions, Meat Sacks, students. I'm useful idiot. Welcome. So apparently, a federal appeals court made a final decision, so it won't be passed through the court system anymore to cancel the entire $475 billion student loan debt cancellation program, SAVE, by the Biden administration. And so that's a huge blow to people that have been given student loan debt forgiveness. Of course, up to now, the amount Biden has been able to cancel, circumventing the Supreme Court decision and other lower court processes, $183 billion. So this is going to be a huge wake-up call for people that got student loan debt forgiveness, because now they don't. So they probably spent a lot of money over the last 3 years on all kinds of other things, food, vacations, uh, cell phones, everything else. And now they're back on the hook. And I can't even imagine what they're probably thinking right now. And they're feeling the repercussions right away, because one thing that's going to happen apparently is that their credit scores are going to drop 100 to 200 points, because now they are officially in arrears paying their student debt loans. And I also have to ask, does this mean that they're now going to have to suddenly make up for all the student debt loan payments that they haven't made over 1 or 2 or 3 years? And so that's going to be a real shocker too. But 7.5 million people are affected by this, and this is a big deal. And I have to assume that probably all the people that are going to have to start paying their student debt loans again are probably going to blame Trump for this, because he's president now. But this is a case where Trump is not to blame, obviously, and that Biden is, and he didn't have the authority. And that's one of the things the court pointed out, that Biden completely overstepped his constitutional authority by doing this program, and that's what they've said all along. And another thing that makes me think about, of course, too, is the all these accusations that Trump is doing things that are unconstitutional, but nobody had a problem with the fact that Biden was doing something that was clearly unconstitutional. The Supreme Court said so. But I as much as it's going to hurt a lot of people, I totally fully on board with the common sense and the pragmatic aspect of this. The fact is, there was no authority to do it, and the $475 billion that was touted as the total that would be addressed by this program gets passed on to the taxpayers. And that's one of the problems with these kind of programs. The government's picking winners and losers. And in this case, the whole idea was that he would forgive $475 billion in student loan debt. And over 10 years, it would cost the taxpayers $475 billion. And it goes back to the initial question of how is it that all these people went to college, they volunteered, they weren't coerced to take out these student debt loans, and then expect the taxpayers to pay for it. And I worked as a chef for 30 some odd years. I don't want to really pay for some student debt loan by somebody that possibly went through an Ivy League school and got a great degree, and I don't know if they're using it or not, but why should I have to pay for that? And that brings up the bottom line, of course, question is that a lot of people, particularly liberals, it seems, need to wake up to the fact that the government doesn't have money. Their revenues from taxes, and then for the government to take the taxes of everybody else like me, and then choose a demographic, in this case, people who took out student debt loans, and then pays them. There's this assumption that the government has all this money, and why shouldn't they just forgive the debt, and not realizing the fact that somebody has to pay the debt. Maybe their debt is relieved but the debt still has to be paid, and that's the important bottom line to all of this. It doesn't just magically disappear and the government somehow absorbs it. The student debt loan still has to be paid. So anyway, wow, I really feel for all the people out there who took out student debt loans and thought they were forgiven for the last several years and now find themselves back on the hook. Really serious reality check. And even though I realize that it has to be done, I still feel for them. And that's how it goes. I'm East Lee. Don't you be one too?